Welcome to the second part of this episode dedicated to suicidal thoughts. In the first part, we discussed human suffering. Today, we will ask a much more uncomfortable question. Can a society contribute to a person losing their sense of purpose in life? This is not about assigning blame. It is about accepting responsibility and raising awareness. After all, no human being lives in complete isolation. We are all the product of history, a family, a culture, and the institutions we build. A question for public policymakers: when rates of suicide, depression, anxiety, loneliness, and hopelessness rise, are we dealing solely with individual problems? Or are we also facing a society that needs to ask itself what conditions it is creating that cause so many people to lose the will to live? Health policy should not be evaluated merely by the number of hospitals, medications, or technologies available. It should also ask, are we helping people lead lives filled with dignity, meaningful connections, purpose, and hope? Are we helping each human being, or are we driving them down? Suffering also has a context. People do not arrive at suicidal thoughts for the same reasons. Some are battling serious illnesses. Others lose their jobs. Some live with disabilities. Some suffer from violence. Others face poverty, exclusion, loneliness, betrayal, grief, or the loss of their life's purpose. Some grapple with the aftermath of heartbreak. Others face the dark side of drug use. Human suffering wears many faces. To reduce it to a single explanation is to fail to see the person. For Pharaoh, promoting health means more than just treating illness. The Pharaoh model proposes broadening the inquiry. It is not enough to intervene only after hopelessness has already taken hold, after it has already been created. We must also ask ourselves, how do we educate? How do we work? How do we care for one another? How do we build community? For a society that teaches competition but not cooperation, that trains professionals with humanistic shortcomings and fails to foster citizens who are compassionate toward not only patients but also colleagues, that generates wealth yet tolerates and perpetuates exclusion and discrimination, that acts as if it were punishing the other, its neighbor, its equal, ultimately undermines the conditions that sustain collective mental health. An ethical perspective. Philosopher Adela Cortina reminds us that a just society must recognize the dignity of every person. Victoria Camps insists that public values do not arise spontaneously, they must be taught and cultivated. And Jose Ferreira Moura understood ethics as a reflection of the responsibility for our actions and the kind of humanity we wish to build. At Pharaoh, these ideas converge on a single conviction: health is also an ethical and social endeavor. Reducing symptoms is not enough. We need to create conditions that allow people to lead meaningful lives, with psychological safety, within the fabric of civic life. The contribution of Taoism. Taoism teaches that life flourishes when there is balance. When a society lives solely to produce, consume, and compete, it disrupts that balance. Human beings need more than just survival. They need to belong. They need to be recognized. They need to love and be loved. They need to feel that their existence has a place in the world. Humanization. True suicide prevention does not begin in a hospital, it begins much earlier. In schools that teach empathy. In workplaces where people are respected, supported, and included. in policies that protect those facing illness, disability, or poverty, in communities that do not abandon those who are suffering. Humanization is not a luxury, it is a prerequisite for health. It is a duty among beings who recognize one another as human. Pharaoh Insights. Suicidal thoughts challenge us all, the person who is suffering, the family, the professionals, and society itself. Prevention is not just about avoiding death, it is about building a culture where living becomes a hopeful possibility once more, a culture where love and its expressions prevail. Pharaoh quote: "A truly healthy society does not merely prolong life, it creates the conditions for that life to be lived with dignity, meaning, security, and hope." Subscribe to the channel and learn more on YouTube. Study using the Pharaoh method, integrating science with conscience, because in health, knowledge is not neutral, it is vital. Please leave a like, comment on and share this video to raise collective awareness.